This is the story of corn, hunger, and one kid with more brains than patience. The movie is based on a true story, which is Hollywood's way of telling you. We begin in a small Malawian village in 2001 where life is simple. You farm, you sweat, you pray for rain, and if you're lucky, you eat. During one of these hot farming days, a man suddenly collapses in the middle of the field like his body decided to rage quit life. His brother Trywell and his son Jeremiah run to him in panic, but nothing can be done. Soon, there is a funeral. The whole village gathers because here, death is not just a family problem, it's a village event. People cry genuinely, because when one person is gone, everyone loses part of themselves. Jeremiah and Trywell are devastated. Jeremiah especially now feels the heavy responsibility of caring for the family. Meanwhile, the wind blows through the village like it's auditioning for a horror movie soundtrack. In the middle of this, young William quietly tinkers with radios while the family sleeps, unscrewing parts and poking at wires like he's secretly planning to build Wi-Fi towers for the entire village. His father Trywell, however, is not impressed with these scientific hobbies. Instead of being proud of his son's inventions, he orders him to fix the roof. All day long, the family works in the fields like the rest of the village, their lives one long loop of hoeing soil and praying clouds stop playing hide and seek. At night, while others rest, William studies wires, metal, and his imagination. After bathing as his mom Agnes instructed, William comes into the house and finds something waiting for him on his bed, a brand new school uniform. Now, in the village, this is equivalent to winning $1 million jackpot. William grins ear to ear because this uniform means he gets to go to school properly and maybe, just maybe, escape the cycle of farming until he too collapses like poor Uncle John. On the road to school, he meets his friend Gilbert, who happens to be the chief's son, which is like being friends with the mayor's kid, but with fewer privileges and more goats. They pass by a political rally where villagers chant for democracy. Ah yes, nothing like a morning walk to school with democracy breaking out on the side. Trywell notices his wife Agnes and daughter Annie casting sneaky glances at the schoolteacher, which he doesn't like, because in this village, gossip travels faster than text messages. At school, the principal gives the students a big speech. If they pay the full semester fee, they will receive a magical library card. With this, they can study, go to university, and escape this cycle of mud and corn. The students nod, pretending they understand the economics of poverty. It starts raining, and everyone scatters into their classrooms like chickens running from a hawk. William sits in class under Mr. Kachagunda, who looks like a man who takes both teaching and dating very seriously. After class, William gives him a letter from Annie, asking about a certificate, and the teacher uses this chance to remind William that his tuition is only half paid. Without the rest, he won't be allowed to continue. William's face falls harder than a mango in storm season. He is sad, but Gilbert tries to cheer him up with jokes. Back at home, despite the pounding rain, the family continues to toil in the field. At night, William does homework by the dim flicker of a kerosene lamp. But the truth is, even kerosene is too expensive, so darkness is often his only study partner. The next day in class, Mr. Kachagunda announces test results. William scores 62 points, which in his situation is like scoring 100, but his father probably won't care unless it fixes the radio. After school, William and Gilbert head to the junkyard to scavenge. While Gilbert dreams of scraps turning into toys, William discovers an old water pump. He looks at it with the eyes of a boy already imagining inventions that might actually save lives. Meanwhile, at a village meeting, Gilbert's father, the chief, announces that the tobacco company wants to buy wood, $2,000 in cash per ton of timber. That's big money in this village, though the chief warns that chopping trees will lead to flooding. Jeremiah, William's cousin, doesn't care. He needs the money and agrees to sign with the company. Trywell tries to warn him, but Jeremiah insists. The villagers, desperate for cash, support him. Trywell is frustrated, but he can't stop it. In his free time, William watches men cutting down trees, his mind racing with ideas about machines and the future. He and Gilbert hang out with local youths who laugh at them, until William fixes their broken radio using stolen parts. Suddenly, he's the cool kid. Respect is earned through frequency modulation. On the way home, William catches his sister Annie kissing none other than Mr. Kachagunda, her teacher. William is horrified. Gilbert tells him he should inform his parents, because teachers dating students is scandalous even in villages without newspapers. William keeps quiet, but suspicion grows that the teacher helped Annie cheat her way into a certificate. While William experiments with batteries, Gilbert suggests revenge, breaking the teacher's bicycle. William refuses, but secretly he is fascinated with the bike's lantern. He realizes it produces light by turning energy from the wheel. That idea burrows into his head like a stubborn worm. At night, Trywell and Agnes argue about money. Agnes insists they must pay William's fees or risk his future. Trywell sighs. There's no money left. Rain pours outside like the heavens are mocking them. The next day, the school principal publicly reads the names of students whose fees are unpaid. They are ordered to leave class. William is humiliated. His father, drenched in the fields, tied up in mud, feels like life is punishing him unfairly. Desperate, he visits Daniel, an old friend who works with the tobacco company. He hopes to buy land and protect trees, but Daniel laughs. The company will never agree. He even points out that William's late uncle left no inheritance because Trywell is too soft-hearted to survive in a hard world. Daniel warns him, famine is coming and nothing will stop it. Trywell is devastated but tells Chief Vim that when the president comes, they must speak truth. Agnes, remembering a famine from 20 years earlier, fears history repeating itself. Annie worries her dreams of university are slipping away, but her mother promises she'll make it somehow. William and Gilbert return to the junkyard searching for batteries. Eventually, William sneaks into the library with a deal. If he keeps quiet about the teacher's romance, he can borrow books. He begins devouring pages about dynamos, electricity, and wind power. He dreams of harnessing the elements. Soon, the president arrives. Villagers cheer like their problems are solved. But when Chief Vim dares to speak the truth about hunger and government neglect, he is dragged away by guards. Chaos breaks out. William and Gilbert try to reach him, but soldiers shoot into the air. People scatter. The chief is badly injured. The villagers realize no help is coming. Trywell sees their corn stores will last only 5 months. Agnes panics that they will starve. News arrives that the government officially denies any food shortage. Protests erupt, but Trywell joins anyway, determined to be heard. Meanwhile, William continues reading, sketching, and dreaming. He plans to build a windmill that could power a pump. He asks Mr. Kachagunda for help, but the teacher has other plans. He pressures Annie to elope, promising marriage and a new life. The principal offers no real help. Teachers are abandoning the school anyway. William pleads to keep using the library, and he dives even deeper into diagrams of dynamos. Grain trucks finally arrive in the village, but instead of charity, the government sells the grain at high prices. Huge crowds form, guarded by armed soldiers. When supplies run out, riots break out. People throw stones. William barely escapes. He manages to buy a little grain, but not enough to feed his starving family for long. At home, Agnes scolds Trywell for leaving them vulnerable to robbery during protests. Arguments boil over. The family begins eating once a day. One evening, William tells his sister he plans to fix the pump with help from bicycle parts. But to get them, he needs his father's permission. Annie hesitates but finally runs away with him, leaving a note behind. Agnes cries, heartbroken. Annie is gone. Their dog grows weaker. Trywell refuses. He thinks wind turbines are childish fantasies. He believes William should stop dreaming and plow fields instead. William obeys, forced to work under the blazing sun. His friends consider leaving the village to look for jobs, but William convinces them to stay and help him. They approach Trywell again for the bicycle. He chases them away in anger. Soon after, William's dog dies of starvation. He buries it in tears, feeling crushed. Agnes confronts Trywell, saying he is destroying their son's future. She calls him a failure as a father. Trywell is wounded by the words, but deep inside, he begins to doubt himself. Eventually, he softens. He gives William permission to use the bicycle. For the first time, the boy's dreams are taken seriously. With the help of friends and scraps from the junkyard, William constructs a wind turbine. Piece by piece, it rises like a strange alien skeleton above the village. Finally, the blades turn, the pump groans, and water gushes into the fields. Villagers cheer in disbelief. For the first time, hope feels real. They plant seeds again, and soon green shoots rise from the once dead land. The famine is broken by a boy who refused to stop imagining. The chief passes away, and his son Gilbert must step into leadership, but the village now has a new hero. William climbs the tall windmill and looks over his home, no longer a powerless child, but the boy who harnessed the wind.